You know what we forgot? We forgot the iPhone lightning cable. That's all right. All right, guys, we're back in the truck. We're picking up. Where'd you say? Anderson, Georgia?
Andersonville.
Andersonville, Georgia, going to Columbia, Ohio. Columbiana. I've never heard of it. Super excited. Did I mention to you guys that I put LED lights in the truck too? I didn't replace the whole housing. My brother bought new headlights for his truck, and it came with a whole new housing and everything. I just bought the bulbs. They're like $40 for like 4 of them off of Amazon. Had really good reviews. Only thing I can't figure out is it's got a little fan on the back of it. And the LED shouldn't be getting hot, so I don't know what the fan is for. I don't know what that's all about. So, anyways, super excited to be back on the road. It's like a bittersweet thing. Like, there's so much I could be getting done on the car. I really wanted to get that thing running this time. Being home, those fuel line fittings really stuck it to me. But honestly, I don't know if you guys know this, we had a car burned down, probably because I basically have this set up the exact same way I had the our other car set up, with the exception of this engine and these turbos. It's a better setup overall, basically. Anyways, probably boring the people that don't give a crap about the car. A lot of people are like, we don't care about your Mustang. Just keep scrolling, because I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. So the plan is this is going to go to Ohio. Hopefully we can like bounce around and get back again for this weekend. My brother's going to go ahead and try to find a load back here this weekend. We're all going to try to go to Lights Out. Yeah, that'll be fun. I don't know if my car group's going to go there. That would kind of suck. So I found 2 or 3 boost leaks while we were home, and I thought it fixed the problem, but it still has a little bit of a whine. Oh, and now it's not going to whine. Maybe it's fixed. Probably not. It's definitely a lot quieter than what it was, so that's definitely a plus. There's these, and I think I told you guys, basically these clamps that you can't adjust. It's like a machine presses them on, and I guess because this is what, a 2008? But you know what we need to do? We need to write down. What the hell was that?
It was your phone, baby.
Oh, it was my phone. Oh, man, it hit hard.
Yeah, it did.
Wow, this magnet isn't as good as the other one. What was I talking about? 2008. Can you get the little book down? We need to write down when we did our oil change. We got 722,000 miles on the truck. So we end up going, I've been trying to do oil changes every 20,000. I think we went 20,000 and 22,000 because it would have been 7,200, which is okay because we run that really good oil. So y'all don't laugh at me because I haven't driven in a little bit. So anyways, I told you guys about the oil mishap where I ordered that 55-gallon drum of oil, did the first oil change with it. The O-ring from the fuel filter got stuck to the block. I didn't pay attention. Same thing happened in my Ford the first time I did the oil change on the Ford. I didn't notice it. You know what though? When it happened to the Ford, the oil filter wouldn't screw on, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought I had the wrong oil filter. Come to find out, because it already had the O-ring on the block, I guess there wasn't enough thread there. But it ended up blowing that seal out, and we dumped, I think it was probably 7 gallons of oil all over the driveway. Lita ran up and got 5 bags of cat litter. It was a complete mess. I was in a really bad mood. Like, that cost us easily $200-something. If it's $24 a gallon, something like that.
What was the mileage?
722,000. And then put APU belts at 722,000 as well. because I put all new APU belts on this thing. I forgot to get safety wire and safety wire that bolt. I think a lot of our voltage issues that we've been having was that belt slipping. So, I don't know. Anyways, we'll see you guys there. All right, so we've been here before. This is the place that made me take my glad hand off and they put the lock on. So that's good. They were pretty quick here. This was the place that we had to stop and go to like 3 different offices. I just dropped Lead off at the crosswalk so she could walk up there and get checked in. Where should I park? Where should we park? Maybe right behind this flatbed. Yeah, so that'll be cool. This will take us to Columbia. Is that the name of it? Columbia, Ohio? So like I said, we were off for 2 weeks. Take myself off duty here real fast. But my brother's been running ever since the January 4th. So he hasn't taken any time off. But man, let me tell you, he's had a heck of a time with loads canceling and stuff. I've never seen somebody have so many loads cancel before in my life. Like he's having all this bad luck, like all at once. Like for instance, so he went out west. I think he picked up in... So he went to Arizona, which was a big mistake. From Arizona, he went to Salt Lake. From Salt Lake, he went to California. Mason ended up finding him a load through JB Hunt. It was a great paying load, especially going east. So I think my brother ended up getting dropped at like lunchtime, but it wasn't going to load till the next day. So he had to sit from lunchtime until the next day. Well, he goes ahead and deadheads. I think he deadheaded over towards there to the pickup. And then that night, the broker said it was either the shipper or the receiver delayed it by a day because it was going to be a crane unload. Delayed it by a day. Didn't matter though. It still paid. It was still the best paying load coming east. So my brother ended up sitting from lunchtime to that night, finding out that it was delayed another day. Sat the entire next day, and then JB Hunt emails us or text or calls us, I can't remember, late that night saying that the load's been canceled. So he sat for a day and a half on a load for JB Hunt for them to cancel the load. And then they kept posting it back on the load board. So something fishy going on there. And then they called on another JB Hunt load and they got jerked around. So JB Hunt has not been a good, so far not good, you know. What's going on, Mackie? It's been a while since people seen you. We almost left her at home with my son and his dog. His dog gets lonely when there's nobody here, but she wanted to come, didn't you, Mackies? You wanted to come with Daddy, huh? She's turned out to be a good dog. I think she's starting to know her name now. Hey, Fat Butts. Fat Butts is always a good dog, huh? So we had somebody give us a whole bunch of GoPro stuff and a doggy mount. So I think Mackie's probably a little too active and it may be like a little crazy. But we'll strap it on the dogs and we'll try them on both of them. He gave us all kinds of mounts, all kinds. There's a box full of stuff, like so much stuff I have to go through it. Gave I grabbed a couple of the mounts. I grabbed the, there's a magnetic mount that he sent us. So I grabbed that. I grabbed a head mount, which I've had a head mount before. I don't know where it's at. And then I grabbed the dog mount. Everything else I'll have to go through. There's like selfie sticks and tripods and all kinds of stuff. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. At first, when I open up the box, I'm like, oh man, this is a bunch of GoPro stuff. And there's like a empty GoPro cage, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. Somebody would send me all this stuff for a GoPro 7. I don't own a GoPro 7. But there's so much stuff in the box. I'm like, you know, I kind of walked away from it because I went out to the truck to get something, and I noticed that there was a box in there. I'm like, Lita, why didn't you tell me somebody sent us something? She's like, I forgot. So I ended up opening it up, and I, you know, kind of opened up the box. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And I think I was making coffee or something. And then I went back to it later on. I was like, damn, there's a whole GoPro in here. Sent a GoPro with 3 batteries. Crazy. Huh, Mackie? Absolutely crazy. So it's raining now, which sucks because this is a tarp load. But you can see they won't load it. There's no building. This is the one where we have to back up to the dock and we have to lock our glad hands. So kind of sucks. I hate tarping in the rain. You know, a lot of people keep telling me, why don't I do a dry van or a reefer van? Because it's easier. There's a few reasons, and I've touched on this a few times. I don't think the content would be as fun. You know, it would be like, oh, here I am backing up to another dock with some stuff in a trailer that you can't see. You know, me strapping stuff down does a bunch of things for me. It keeps me in shape. It gives content for the channel, and I enjoy it. Somebody mentioned, why don't I get another job? Because I seem like I hate my job. I don't hate the job. I hate shippers and receivers and brokers thinking your time isn't valuable. And that's the problem with this industry. There's a lot of things wrong with this industry. I think factoring is a big scam. It's definitely a scam. I mean, people could be like, well, don't pay a factoring company, do it yourself. The amount of paperwork that you have to do to factor a job, and then you have to keep up with, did that job pay? You know, they haven't paid, I got to send them a letter, you got to do all this. Factoring is worth it because of what you have to go through to try to get paid. My thing is why does it take a company so long to pay you? You know, it wouldn't be a big deal if it didn't take them so long to pay you. That would be like ordering a pizza and then telling Pizza Hut, I'll pay you in 90 days. That's not how it works. You put your product on my trailer. I drove your product to the place that you wanted it. And now you're saying you're not going to pay me up to 90 days? That's absolutely ridiculous. You have your product. Cut me a check. That's the way it should be done. Factoring is a scam. Oh, here comes Mama, Mackie. So, anyways, we're going to mosey on over here, get these bags on. Man, I feel like there's so much that goes on. I know I ramble a lot and I forget what I talk about sometimes, and it's kind of overwhelming, especially when you've been off for as long as I have, and the amount of stuff that's has still been going on. Stuff like, we ordered my brother's tag for his truck before Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving. It is February 21st, and his tag still hasn't shown up. But what happens when you apply for your tag? Are we going to that same place?
No, hold on. We need to figure out how far Nagley is from where they said this was going to drop at.
Oh, all right. Let me get back to you guys. Freightliner in front of us. Got in a fight with the office guy up there because basically told him that he has to pull in after somebody else. And this guy's like, what if I fall asleep? You guys gonna wake me up? He said, no. He says, well, can you guys call me? The guy's like, no. He's like, well, this is some fucking bullshit. What if I fall asleep? And they mumbled under each other's breaths, and this guy's like, fuck you, I'll find another load. The guy's like, fine, give me your paperwork. The guy's like, no, I'm gonna keep this one. The guy's like, no, give me your paperwork. He's like, fuck you, here's your paperwork. So he's leaving now, without getting loaded.
Yeah, I thought he pulled out kind of like hard.
So when we left the house this morning, what'd you do, go to pay the hotspot?
Yeah, I went to pay it, and they said the plan wasn't a thing anymore.
She's like, I forgot about this bone. You forgot about that bone in the truck, huh? Yeah, so our hotspot plan is no longer available. So I had a hotspot on my Verizon, but for some reason when we got these iPhone 13s, it turned it off. It says that the hotspot is no longer available for this plan. You know, these cell phone companies get over on you.
You should, according to the person I spoke to on Verizon about my hotspot, you shouldn't have even had it either.
But we had hotspots before though.
Yeah, I know we had.
And it's
before.
like Verizon's like, we're not going to offer a hotspot on this plan anymore.
They moved it to a higher one.
I mean, I have to have a hotspot on my phone even if we cancel it later.
Yeah, I know. We have to have at least one phone that can do that. You know? So. But
it's only 25 gigs. 25 gigs is not very much. That's insane. That's crazy. Man, it feels good to have my hair cut. It's not all crazy anymore. It only took me what? I don't know how long I went without a haircut. It was pretty bad. The place I usually go, the chick that I usually let cut my hair, she hadn't been there the last few times, and due to COVID, they were short-staffed, so I stopped going there and started going to Supercuts or something like that. Well, we ran over to Supercuts and it had like a 2-hour long wait. It's like, I'm not waiting 2 hours. Let's go back over where I used to get my hair cut. City Cuts or something like that. And walked in there and she was back there working. There's another woman there that when I used to take me and Mason and Nate, we always knew she was gonna jack up your hair, and it was always like, please don't let me be the one that she cuts. And then she'd call back, you know, like Mason or Nate and everybody else that ended up laughing at the other person because they got that woman. I mean, I guess we could have technically been like, we don't want you to cut our hair, but well, that's kind of rude, right? Anyways, the chick that cuts my hair, she does a pretty good job. She's not like, she's not in a big hurry. She takes care of you, you know? Anyways, we're next in line. So we walk up there to the office, and there's two guys before me, and the window's closed, and I guess he was at lunch. Anyways, he came back. Pretty much, this place told this guy that you have to be ready to back in after the person that they tell you is done. And if you wait too long, you lose your spot. And the guy's like, do you guys come and knock on our truck and let us know or anything? He's like, no. He's like, well, can you call me on the phone? And the guy's like, no. He said, so what if I lose my spot? Or what if I fall asleep? The guy's like, well, then you lose your spot. And the guy was like, this is BS. And the guy's like, the guy in the office, he's like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, this is BS. You can take this paperwork back. And the guy's like, all right, give me the paperwork. And then the guy was like, no, I'll keep the load. And the guy's like, no, give me the paperwork. So he's like, fuck you. Gave him the paperwork. Left. Ends up coming back. Walked back up there. I don't know if he was trying to beg for the load back or what, but he ended up leaving again. So evidently something happened there. I kind of side with the with a truck driver, really. Like, why can't you make a simple phone call and be like, you're up next? I mean, there's a lot of trucks here, so there's no telling how long it would take. No telling how long. But let's talk about the convoy in Canada. I think a few commenters have asked me what I thought about it, and I wanted to kind of take some time and kind of stew on the whole thing. I'll be honest with you, I think it's a waste of time. Just like the convoy in America is going to be a waste of time. I don't feel like you should be able to block the streets, and that's what they did in Canada. They made it to where nobody could come and go, and that doesn't affect the government. All of this is pointed towards the government. That doesn't affect the government. It affects the people around wherever you're protesting at. So I don't feel like they should have been able to block the streets. So I think that was wrong on the trucks. They went in and stole their diesel. That's a bunch of BS. It's like they did everything they could do to the truck drivers to try to get somebody mad enough to make it look like they were the bad guys. You know, they expected to go in there and steal the gas, and a truck driver to maybe get up in somebody's face or to punch a cop or something like that. I think that's what they were trying to, what they were shooting for. I mean, I believe in peaceful protesting, and it was a peaceful protest, but they were blocking the roads. I don't agree with blocking the roads. Here's my take on it. Just like this convoy going across America, does absolutely nothing. The government doesn't care. The government doesn't care that you're going to drive 50,000 trucks from California over to New York or whatever they've decided on. If you want to put a dent in something, park your truck. Park your truck. Again, that's not really going to hurt the government, but blocking the streets or driving slow or whatever they plan on doing is only going to hurt the people too. Not taking loads and delivering is going to do the same thing. But if you're trying to make a statement, let's say like for New York City, stop going to New York City. Don't deliver to New York City. Let the people not receiving the stuff be the ones that contact their congressmen and their senates and their mayors and whatever else they have to contact to get things changed. But for you to drive your truck into New York and block streets, and nah, that's not for me. I'd rather park my truck. I'd rather sit at home. Of course, I'm a flatbedder. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not hauling food. I'm not hauling toilet paper. I don't haul anything that your average person really needs. So a flatbedder isn't as essential as, let's say, like a reefer truck delivering your food. So really, I can't touch base on this too much anyways, but like I said, just don't deliver. If you don't, this is how I feel. Like, you should have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like, there's this big cancel culture thing going on right now where if you do or say something wrong and you get canceled, whatever, it should be, it's not illegal to be racist, it's not illegal to be homophobic, it's not illegal to do any of that. If you want to start a business that says, I'm a racist, homophobic, basically the government would go in there and shut you down. What they need to do is, you're allowed to be racist, you're allowed to be homophobic, you're allowed to do whatever, but if people don't come to your business because they don't believe the same things that you believe in, that's the way it needs to be. You don't need to be forced to believe or do or say anything. And that's what a lot of American people are thinking right now, that because they don't believe the same thing somebody else believes in, that they should be canceled or they shouldn't be able to work or anything like that. No, if you want to... Alright, my SD card got full, even though Lita just took all the footage off and told it to delete the files. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking about, baby?
Convoy.
Oh yeah, the convoy. If you really want to do something, just park your truck. Just park your truck. You don't even have to spend $1 in gas. Park your truck. If everybody would just park their truck, it would have a better impact. Because what's going to happen is the same thing that happened on January 6th of the insurrection. It's going to be one bad apple or one fake truck driver is going to ruin it for everybody. And that's what's going to happen. The truck driver beside me walked up to my truck and he's like, "Did you see that Conestoga back there?" I was like, "Yeah, is that yours?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool, man, that's nice." Did you hear that?
I mean, I didn't know what he was talking about.
I was like, "What is it? Do you want to trade or something?" And he just walked away.
Weirdo.
I don't know. Anyways, we're waiting on this truck to get loaded, then we get the back end. Hopefully they're almost done, because this is a little further than I thought. We got 900 miles from here, which will put us 13. Why isn't my thing connected to this? Where's the, is this it right here? Have to figure out when I can get there. It's a little bouncy. Well, we have stopped for the night. You guys probably can't see anything, but I want to give you guys one more look at this trailer at night. Show you guys how much light this thing puts off with all these fancy lights on it. We're going to walk the dogs and go take a leak real fast. I'll talk to you guys when we get back and get in the truck. All right, can you guys see us? Taking the doggies on a walk, going to the bathroom. So today's the day that I made the post about my brother's truck's throttle not working. So basically he's in West Virginia right now. Stopped at a Walmart. He's gonna take it to a shop in the morning. The crazy thing is he's right off of 77, exit 9, and that's the way we'll be in the morning. So the shop told him they couldn't get to the truck until like maybe late tomorrow afternoon. So we're gonna swing through there and check on them. So he checked oil in his truck like you guys suggested. He put a new get past this truck, it's kind of loud. He put a new pedal in there. The way the Volvos are, the throttle position sensor is on the pedal, so you have to replace the whole pedal assembly, which seems kind of crazy to me. Still had the issue. I had him disconnect the batteries. Still has the issue. The truck's not throwing any codes or giving any check engine lights or anything. He did notice that his coolant's a little lower than it should be. So I know my truck, when my truck gets low on coolant below the recommended minimum low line, it'll do exactly what his truck is doing. So he's at a Walmart right now. He's gonna pick up some more radiator fluid, and he said he can start driving again at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna leave out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then because it's happening to him like every 5 miles, every 10 to 15 minutes. So he should know within like 30, 45 minutes tops, maximum, if it's fixed or not. Obviously, if it's not fixed, he's just gonna turn around and limp it back. So basically what's happening is he can just be driving along, and it's like the throttle pedal stops working. And he has to pull over, shut the truck off, and then turn the truck back on, and then it starts working again. So I thought for sure it would be the throttle position sensor. And now that he's told me his coolant, he checked and his coolant is low, which means he might have a coolant leak somewhere. Because he said he was sure it had coolant in it when he did his morning inspection. So either his truck's putting him in limp mode and not giving him the warning on the dash, or there's something else. It's got a brand new ECM in it. So I don't know. I'm hoping that shop can get something figured out. We're on our way to Ohio right now. Gonna be passing by. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll be 5.5. He'll be where he's at right now is 5.5 hours from our drop. What I might have to do is go up there, maybe see if I can find a load coming back down towards where he's at, or I might have to deadhead it and come finish his load out for him. The plan was I was going to try to get home for the weekend, and he was going to try to get to the house for the weekend. You want me to take her so you can go use the bathroom, Babs?
You want to go?
No, you can go. Come on, Mackies. And we were going to go to Lights Out together. So hopefully it's the coolant. It's the low coolant sensor, and he'll be back on the road in the morning. So that's hoping. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys. So while we were home, all kinds of things happened. Like the oil in the driveway made a mess. I end up setting these sunglasses and my headset on the back tires of the truck when I pulled it up to do the oil change, and I set them on the back tire. Completely forgot they were there. Ended up pulling the truck forward and completely smashing my headset. These sunglasses got a little scratched up, but not too bad, which is a shame because the headset, when I told you guys about that headset back when I bought it a year ago, it was like 70 bucks, and now it's $120. So I actually ended up buying a cheaper headset first, the one that Lita has actually. And it just kept disconnecting from my phone, and then I bought the one version newer than the headset that I have now, and they were complete crap. Sent those back to Amazon, and we ended up ordering the ones that we had before. You can't beat them. You really can't. I think a lot of my issues is that iPhone I have, because for some reason anytime like I could be sitting there listening to music through my headphones, somebody could call me and it won't go through my headphones. I have to go into my phone every time and tell it to connect to the headphones. So that's kind of a nightmare. Anyways, completely crushed the headphones, had to order new ones. Ended up being like $130 something after tax, which is absolutely nuts. Anyways, we are at a rest area just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the rest area that you have to enter on the left. So this is actually the first time we've ever been here. I've driven by it many times, and this one doesn't show up on the Garmin for some reason. Usually when we get like an hour left, I'll start looking for parking. This didn't show up. I just happened to see a sign. It's probably why I've never been here, because I always look for parking on the Garmin and it never shows up. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I hope he gets his truck going. I appreciate everybody chiming in and giving suggestions. Hopefully my brother's checking on it, because I just got done driving And I probably posted that probably 3 or 4 hours ago, so hopefully he's been keeping up with that. I've been trying to tell you guys, you know that we replaced the pedal or whatever and everything else, but it's kind of hard to do when you're driving and all that. So anyways, wow, that guy's boats, those boats that he's hauling, those things got completely ripped up. Unless that's just part of the plastic that covers those awnings. Those awnings got destroyed. Anyways, I babbled too much. Let me let you guys go. See you later.